They say your nails keep growing after you die, but what if it's because they have something left to tell you? I don't mean to creep you out. Okay, I kinda do. There's something strangely powerful and scary about the sound of a nail tapping on a glass. Click, click, click. Because some nails, they're dangerous, and some stories are buried just beneath the cuticle. I started digging, literally into nail history, and I found this legend from the Tang Dynasty in Imperial China. They say female assassins were trained in the palace, not with swords, but with their nails, long, elegant, lacquered claws, painted in crushed beetles and gold. But underneath, they hid poison. Deadly powders and oils tucked beneath ornate nail guards. A single scratch was all it took. One servant girl allegedly accidentally scratched a royal consort during a bath. 3 hours later, the woman was dead. No wounds, no sound, just one broken nail floating in the water. The guards found the girl outside, calmly repainting her nails. She never blinked. Some say she vanished before she could be questioned. Others say she was buried with the woman she killed, hands bound in silk. It's hard to verify, but Chinese royal courts were known for intrigue, and poison was part of the politics. Oh, and those long nails? They weren't just weapons. In the Qing dynasty, they became symbols of status. So long and delicate, they had to be protected with golden nail guards. Proof that you were too powerful to ever lift a finger. Now, maybe that was just legend. But I'll tell you what's real. Bride comes in, jittery, pale, chewing her lip like it owes her money. She wants white almond nails, subtle shimmer, brings her own polish, angel tears. She looks in the mirror and says, "Perfect. I want these to be the last thing he sees." I laughed, thought she was nervous. I've heard weirder. After I finished the set, I asked if I could take a photo for my collection. She agreed, her hand holding a champagne glass, soft shimmer catching the light. Elegant, innocent. A week later, I'm scrolling Facebook. Headline: Groom goes missing on honeymoon cruise. Bride questioned. No charges filed. And I paused, staring at the photo I took, remembering what she said. Was it her? Probably just a coincidence, right? But sometimes, I still look at that photo in my camera roll, the way her fingers curled around the glass, how the shimmer on her nails almost looked like teeth. And I wonder, to this day, and if you think the poison stopped there, let me introduce you to Giulia Tofana, 17th century Italy. She made a product called Aqua Tofana, sold as a beauty serum. Women dabbed it onto their cheeks or brushed it over their nails, and then touched their husband's food or kissed him goodnight. He'd die slowly, over days. Doctors thought it was natural illness. Over 600 men were reportedly killed this way. No bruises, no wounds, just a soft sigh and silence. Though that number came from a confession made under torture. So, who knows how many really died? Giulia was executed in secret, but legend says she cursed every man who ever forced a woman to smile when she didn't want to. And her tomb? They say her nails kept growing, still red, still poisonous. Now maybe that was just myth, but this one was mine. A few years ago, I had a walk-in. Didn't say much. Pale, voice soft enough to disappear. She sat down and said, "Can you make them sharp, blood red, like still wet?" I joked, "Oof, that's specific. Murder scene red or vampire date night?" She stared straight at me. No glitter, no chrome, just fresh blood. Her hands were ice cold, and her nails already long, like she'd been growing them for something. I finished the set, sharp stiletto tips, crimson so deep it almost looked black. She tipped $50 and vanished into the night. The next morning, I found one of her nails on my table, still wet, still bleeding. Now you think that's creepy? Let me tell you about the Radium Girls. 1920s America, young women working in watch factories. Their job? Paint glowing numbers using radium, radioactive, and deadly. But nobody told them that. They dip the brush, lick the tip to make a point, then paint the dial, over and over. Dip, lick, paint. After hours, they painted their nails with it. Their teeth, their eyelids, they glowed, and then they started falling apart. Teeth dropped out, jaws disintegrated. Bones snapped like dried sticks. Doctors were baffled until they realized these girls were dying from the inside out. They buried them in sealed coffins, But decades later, their bones still glow. Geiger counters tick when you walk over their graves. Click, click, click. So yeah, just remember, nails are beauty, but they're also power, protection, and sometimes punishment. They've held poison, held secrets, held the hands of the dead. And when you hear that soft little tap on a table, ask yourself, what are your nails trying to say? What secrets do they hide beneath the polish? Click, click, click. Because in this business, we don't just file away cuticles, we file away stories. And some of them refuse to stay buried. Even dead hands have something left to say. Some stories are painted over, some are filed down, and some still live beneath the polish. And if you're brave enough, come back for more. This was your creepy salon story, straight from Lucy. If you love the chills, the glam, and the secrets under the skin, hit subscribe and come back for more. We've got more blood beneath the polish, and trust me, it's still wet.